Hello, Algebra 1 students. My most common complaint that I hear is people never learned how to divide very well. So that's my goal today, is I want to make sure that you can divide a little bit better. I'm going to show you the two ways, using the exploding dots, which I think is really easy, and then I'll show you how the dots translates into the standard algorithm that you learned. So you should have completed the practice on subtracting. You can check off the booklet on dividing, so go ahead and go to division. This is page 9. So we want to draw 3,900 there's a 0, 10s, and 6. And we want to divide it by 3. Well, we're looking for groups of 3. Here's one group of 3. And my 9s, I have 1, 2, 3 groups of 3. There's 0 there, and 2 groups of 3 there. 1,302. That was relatively easy. Now let's look at the standard algorithm. We want to divide by 3. Well, we look at our first place. How many times does 3 go into 3? Well, 1. That was pretty easy. That gives us 3. 1 times 3 is 3, and we subtract it off. Now we have 9. How many times does 3 go into 9? Well, that happens 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. And we could subtract that off and get 0. There's going to be a 0 there because there's nothing to divide in that one. And we bring our 6 down. And what times 3 gives you 6? Well, 2. Works out the same way. Now let's do a bigger number. So we've got 6. We're dividing things into groups of 2, so I'm going to draw them in groups of 2 to make it really easy. There's 6. There's 8. There's 4. There's 0 there. And 2. We're dividing into groups of 2. One group of 2. 2 groups of 2. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 2. And finally, 3 groups of 2. Pretty easy. I'm not going to compare to the standard algorithm because that one was pretty easy, so let's skip that. Now let's make it slightly harder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 2. And I want to divide into groups of 3. Well, let's look. Here's a group of 3. That's as many as I can get out of it. I can only get 1. So now I've got this extra dot. But remember, it's not just 1. We can unexplode it. And there we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's the 10 that we unexploded. And now over here, 1, 2, 3 groups of 3. And we've got that 1 left over. So again, I'm going to unexplode that one. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I have 4 groups of 3. 134. How easy was that? That makes so much more sense. Now if we go to the standard algorithm, you're going to see how this is exactly the same thing. Hopefully this makes much more sense than when you did it before. So we had 402, and we're dividing it by 3. Well, again, from our picture, we can see that we had 4, and we could only get 1 group of 3 out of it. So 1 group of 3, and then we subtracted, and this is where that unexploding comes from. Now we have 10. Remember? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, we could find 3 groups of 3 out of that 10. 3 times 3 is 9, remember? So in those groups, 3, 6, 9, that's where it came from. And remember, we also had 1 left over. Then we unexplode, and we carried this 2 down, but really that was just the 2 that was left over, and that made 12. Well, we can have 4 times 3 is 12, and now when we subtract, we have 0 remaining. 134 is our answer. Works out the same. I think this is awesome because it's so much easier. Let's draw out a next one. We got 0, 1, 2, 3. We're looking for groups of 5. 1 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, here's one group of 5. And we can unexplode that dot, so we'll get 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One group of 5. Two groups of 5. There's our two groups of 5. We have one remaining, so we can unexplode that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One group of 5. Two groups of 5. We have two groups of 5 here. Now we're going to have to unexplode both of these, and we'll get 20 dots over here. So I'm going to draw them out like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. One group of 5, two groups of 5, three groups of 5, four groups of 5, and we have 3 left over. Unexplode, unexplode, unexplode. How many dots are over here? Well, there's 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. One group of 5, two groups of 5, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 5, and there's our number. We can compare it to the standard algorithm. I'm going to try and do that relatively quickly. So we had 61,230, we're dividing by 5. Well, we remember we only could do one group of 5 here, so we had one remaining. Then we had 11. We could do two groups of 5 to give us 10, and we had one remaining. Then we had 2 from that column, and we could do two groups of 5 again to give us 10. And when we subtract, remember we had 2 dots remaining. Well, now when we had our two dots remaining, this became 23. So now we could actually get 4 times 5, which was 20 out of that. And then we had 3 left over. And then that was 30. So 6 times 5 gives us 30. And then we have a remainder of 0. Okay? Whichever method that you like best, do it. I'm going to continue to do the dots. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to divide by 12. Well, what is 12 in the exploding dot machine? It's a 1 with 2. So that's what I need to look for. So if I look in that machine, I found it. Here is a 12. So we had one group of 12 from there. Let's see if we can find any more 12s. Here's a 12. Here's a 12. And here is a 12. There's 3 groups of 12. 13. That was awesome. I'm not going to compare to the standard algorithm because I'm running out of time and I want to do more examples. So we've got 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 50, 400, 3,000, and 10,000. Remember, for 11, I'm looking for a 1 and a 1. So let's see. Here's a group of 11. So there's 1 there. Here's 2 groups of 11. So there's 2 groups there. Here's a group of 11. Here's a second group of 11. So there was 2 groups here. And finally, 1, 2, and 3. 3 groups of 11. There's my final answer. 1,223. Isn't that awesome? That makes life so much easier. So let's see, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2. So now when I'm looking for 102, I'm looking for a triple. 1, 0, 2. That's what I'm looking for. Do I have it? 1, 0, 2. There's one group of 102. 1, 0, 2. There's two groups. Now I want to do the same thing right here. 1, 0, 2. There's one group of 102. Same thing over here. 1, 0, 2. 1, 0, 2. And 1, 0, 2. There's three groups. Here we had 0. 2,103. That's it. I can compare all of these to the standard algorithm, but I don't want to because I want to save time and this video got a little long. But I think that the exploding dots makes life so much easier, and that's the whole point of this lesson.